a really exciting guest with us today. Gus from the MetaSoccer team has kindly joined us to go through some of your questions and tell us a little bit more about MetaSoccer. So if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself, Gus, and telling us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, thank you for inviting me to talk a little bit more about MetaSoccer. But then again, I'm Gustavo Sabino. I'm the growth leader of MetaSoccer, and as a good Brazilian, I play pretty much all the football games that you can even imagine. Yeah. The ones that I most enjoy to play is Football Manager, of course. So I played since Championship Manager. So me as an accountant, because this is my formation, I'm an accountant in real life, let's say. Mm-hmm. So I was always going deeper in the blockchain stuff and trying to find a very good play to earn game in football, and I was not even find anyone. So whenever I found MetaSoccer job offering, I was like, oh my God, that's it. This is like Football Manager, Championship Manager in the blockchain. So yep. That's how I end up here in a growth leader role.
Yeah. So what team do you normally play on Football Manager?
Always Vasco da Gama. Vasco da Gama is my football club here in Brazil, so that's why we're close with Vasco da Gama to be the first sponsor. Yes, a little bit biased, I know, but I mean, it's my football club here in Brazil, and then we are looking for a very good partnership with football clubs in Brazil, in Spain, in Italy, pretty much worldwide. And then Vasco da Gama is a top 5 club here in Brazil. I had very good connections, so I spent 2 to 3 months to do conversation and meetings to try to approach them to come to MetaSoccer. So whenever I'm playing a fantasy type of football game, I'm always with Vasco, and now I have Vasco da Gama as well with us in a play to earn game.
Yeah, Vasco da Gama now got the MetaSoccer badge on their kits. That's
yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, that's really good. I think that was obviously one of the first big announcements that got people excited. We saw that there's that ability to go out into the real life football world. And also we had the things with Emi Martinez, and we've had Thomas Partey and other things, but that was a major club which is obviously signed up to sort of advertise the game, really, which is obviously going to get a lot more eyes on it and get a lot more people interested in what it actually is. So it's a really good move for the project, I guess. So
yeah,
one of the things I wanted to ask you, Gus, was obviously we've got a lot of new people coming into this community now. Obviously, people who are interested in Football Manager, people who are interested in play-to-earn games, people who probably haven't got much experience within the crypto world, NFTs and other things like that. So if you had 30 seconds to a minute to explain to somebody with no crypto and no play-to-earn experience exactly what MetaSoccer is, what would you say?
Yeah, it's very simple put. It's like a Football Manager in the blockchain. And what is the difference between a normal type of game, Football Manager, Championship Manager, and MetaSoccer is that you own pretty much all the assets in the game. So instead of you purchasing a digital game right now with $50 or $100, right now you're going to invest this in the game, and you're going to possess pretty much owner all the assets in the game. In MetaSoccer, there is the youth scout, the football players, later on the stadium, coach, and etc. So the differentiation between what you're doing in the blockchain is that you, as a user, you own all the assets in the game.
Yeah, I think that's one of the main things that pulled me in, especially was, you go on things like FIFA Ultimate Team, you go on different games where you spend quite a significant amount of money if you want to have a really strong team. And then at the end of that season, you have nothing left. You have to start all over again. All the money you spent's wasted. Whereas with MetaSoccer, like you say, you own those assets and you can sell them. And if the game was to go a certain direction and you wanted to take your cards off and sell them on OpenSea or do whatever you want to do, you've still got that value within your assets. So I think that's going to be a big thing that pulls a lot of people in. I think it probably hasn't caught on yet a lot with a lot of the big FIFA players and everyone else, that the money they're spending is dead money. The money we're spending is an investment in a game which is potentially going to be worth a lot more money later down the line, but can also yield you money on a regular basis. If you have got a competitive team, if you are prepared to spend and invest time and money in the game to, improve and get your squad to a competitive level where you can earn a reasonable amount of money.
Yeah, exactly. The amount of money that people spend right now with League of Legends, Counter-Strike, in skins that at the end of the day is not yours, it's from the company. So people are already spending money, but right now with NFT and play to earn, you can indeed spend money, but at the end of the day, it's yours. It's in my wallet. It's mine. I can do whatever I want with this.
Yeah. It's definitely a bonus of all the NFT play to earn games. But I think with MetaSoccer, with all the assets you have and the fact that you can mint new assets with the assets you own, is just another feature on top of that, which is probably going to get people really excited when, you know, mainstream does start getting hold of the idea of MetaSoccer and hearing about what it is. So really positive. I think one of the things I wanted to discuss, big announcement this week, Ronaldinho, again, another Brazilian who's joined the team. I think I was looking on his Twitter, I think he's something like 18 million followers, obviously Ballon d'Or winner, World Cup winner, one of the most recognizable faces in world football. How did MetaSoccer do it? What was the secret? Was did someone know him, or how did this come about?
Yes, we have a very good connections in the football market, let's say, because we, like MetaSoccer company, we already have another game. It's not a play to earn game, but it's a mobile game in football. So that's why we have a pretty much very good connections in Spain, other countries. So we know people. We are in conversation with a lot of football clubs, football players, football agencies. So whenever we're trying to set this in motion, like to create MetaSoccer, we already try to find an ambassador for the game. And then like in the first month of the project, we got in touch with Ronaldinho, and they're like, okay, that's our guy. Because I mean, everybody knows Ronaldinho. He's one of the biggest guys that ever played. So his face on our game is a game changer, let's say. So that's why we are saving this for now, from April, because we are going to release the PVE, the first interaction with the game. So it will make a lot of sense for us to create a very good hype in the community that we are creating, because me on my LinkedIn, it's exploding. People talk to me about other football clubs, other football players. So people, I get to know what we are doing, and they take us seriously because we are closing deals with clubs, with football players. So right now we are, let's say, in another level. We are set the bar very, very high, because I mean, if I announce Ronaldinho Gaúcho, the next one need to be bigger. So that's why right now we are setting the bar very, very high, because we want to deliver the best for the community.
Yeah, I mean, just by, you know, being associated with someone as big as Ronaldinho, that's going to have massive implications for, you know, the number of eyes which are going to come onto MetaSoccer, but also the sort of you know, people believe in it. It's obviously, like I say, it is the real deal, and they have got these connections, and we are going to develop something which is going to be, you know, probably a massive game within the football world. So just that association with someone like Ronaldinho is just, it's massive for the game and for everyone that's playing, I guess. So yeah, that was really good news. And I think towards the end of it, I think people had probably cottoned on as to who it was going to be. There was a lot of hints getting thrown around, stuff that, yeah, it was, even when it did come out, it was still a nice surprise, and it was really, really, really interesting. And
yeah, people was also think that maybe Ronaldo phenomenal. So like another big one that we may or may not have a conversation. I cannot release this, but I mean, we have a very, very good reach in the market, let's say.
Yeah, no, that's something to look forward to in the future. Who can you top Ronaldinho with? That's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, they're gonna be like very, very tricky, but you're gonna be there. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm sure. So we've obviously got the PVE coming up and the beta testing and everything else. I think one of my questions was going to be, how are the team going to make it so the rewards are appealing to people, so they continue to scout and they continue to, because obviously the scouting cost is being discussed a lot in the Discord at the minute and other things like that. And without getting into too much detail on the costing and the potential rewards and stuff, what sort of plans do the team have to make sure that it is always, you know, appealing, that players send their scouts, get players back, and keep investing in the game, whilst at the same time able to make profit if that's what they're looking to do?
Yeah, for sure. Like the PVE is going to be released in more or less 2 weeks right now. Probably this week on Friday, we can review more or less the rewards that everyone can receive whenever they are successful in the PVE, in the friendly match, and beat the other team. Going to receive a reward in MSC. So all of this you can review probably this Friday. This is like what I'm aiming to release. And then of course that the user will want to get the money back as soon as possible, let's say like 1 month, 2 weeks. But for us to create a very sustainable game, we cannot give that amount of MSC, because if you give a lot of MSC for the user, they're going to dump in the market, the price will go down, so the return of investment is going to be longer. So all of this you are taking like with extra care, because the MVP of the game, let's say, is the PvP. Whenever you going to have your own football club and play against another user. So we're going to have like a 2 months, 2.5 months that you're only going to be playing PvE, only friendly mode. So we cannot give that high amount of money because you want to make the game very, very sustainable for you to assemble your squad, to create your 20-something football players. Then you can have a very good team to play the PvP. But right now, I can tell you that we are aiming to release 1 month, 1.5 month return of the investment with the MSC price as of today. But of course, these tend to go down because all the users going to receive the MSC, going to sell in the market. So it will be like not financial advice, of course, it will be like extra care of what you are doing in the game. And of course, on the scouting part and all the interaction that the user can do in the game, the team is also reviewing right now because we are receiving a lot of feedbacks from the community about the amount that you are paying in MSU and MSC, the amounts of players. So all of this, the community and the team is hearing you guys. Me as a growth leader, community manager, market leader, all my roles in MetaSoccer, and also I'm investor and a player. I'm also giving my honest feedback to the team that we need to change some things in the future so we can create a system in about the scouting features, for example, that the users want to continue to scout these over and over the time. Because otherwise, right now we have some situations the users are only scouting with the best scouts right now. And then again, we want to you as a club owner, as a manager, to use all of them. So that's why some changes are being addressed right now for the team, and we are going to change this over this month and next month. Of course, that since you are developing the PvE and is the focus of the team is to deliver the PvE, after this you can go back a bit to say, okay, now let's see the feedback of the community about the scouting, for example, about the reward, about the price that you are paying, and not adjust one thing or another. But everything that we are doing is very transparent with the community. I'm always the first guy to go there, say, hey guys, we are reviewing these, we're going to change this, because at the end of the day, we are a community. So we need to be like very, very close to you guys.
Yeah, I think that's shown, to be honest. I think that's shown in the Discord and it's shown on Twitter and other things, to be honest. I think what you're doing is the correct way to go about it. Obviously, like I say, you need to have the sustainable business model. You need to make sure that it's going to work and that the prices and the rewards are probably adequate and enough to keep people engaged and playing, but also manage the economy of the game and the ecosystem.
Yes, and
fine balance.
Other things that we are going to do. I'm not gonna try, not gonna guarantee or say like this gonna happen, but I'm gonna try to make some tournaments or some competitions between PvE and PvP, because I mean you are gonna be there playing friendly match. So I'm gonna try to put an option that, let's say, I can invite you for a match tomorrow, and then you can put my team against your own team. So you can do like kind of a tournament, and at the end of the day, let's say I have my own guild. If a lot of people, you have your own guild, we may do a tournament that, let's see who is the best, and then MetaSoccer team can put a prize on this match. So you can create another way of income for the users, not only based on MSU or MSC, but you can have a sponsor that can give money in dollars. So all of this we are trying to create so we can engage even more our community and not let you guys to focus that much in the price of MSU, price of MSC. Just focus on being good, of have a very good squad, to go to the competition, to try to be the best out of it, so we can generate income outside the MetaSoccer universe ecosystem.
Yeah, which is, I mean, the potential for it's massive. Just that, the opportunity where you build this team, and yeah, you can earn the MSU and you can earn the MSC, but anything that's going to be outside with competitive games and whatever else, and guilds and other things, challenge each other. If there's people watching it on YouTube and other ways of funding it and things like this, then it's all, I'm sure it's a lot further down the line and things that you know, but at least you're considering them, and I think that's really positive. You know,
yes, we have a lot of things in our head about like putting stadium, put advertise, sponsor. Like we can do the amounts of things that you can do, like in sport, in the blockchain, of what we have in our hands. It's massive. Of course, that we need to focus and prioritize, because otherwise it's too much things that we want to deliver for the community that if you don't prioritize, you can never deliver.
Yeah, definitely. So I think I've got the latest Medium article which came out a few minutes ago. So let me quickly share my screen. So yeah, as you can see here, we've got the Medium article. Obviously, a lot of new information and gameplay aspects have come out, and I think it's really interesting. I won't go into too much detail, let people read this themselves, but I think the visuals on here and some information would be really good to speak about. So we have got the homepage. Obviously your player lineups, your squads are here, your friendly matches and your current standings, and the upcoming training feature. I think this looks really clean and it looks really simple, but at the same time, you've got all the information you need and it does look quite nice. What are your thoughts, Gus? Are you happy with where you are? Is there any tweaks or changes that will be made to this, or is this the final we'll be getting?
Nah, I mean, when the CEO Mark showed me this, if not mistaken, 10 days ago, I was like pretty much freaking out because I mean, this is so beautiful. I'm in the project and I was not even think about that you're going to deliver something that clean and for me very beautiful in the first interaction. Because for me it's perfect. Like if I want to play a game, even like Football Manager or whatever, like because I'm playing Football Manager for 20 years, if I have a game like this, I'll be like very, very happy with the execution. Of course that over time we can improve, put more new features, etc. But for me right now it's perfect the way it is.
Yeah, I think it's really good. I think that, like I said, it is just clean and it's nice and simple, and everyone can see exactly where your players are, the formation you've selected, and all your current players here. It's got all the information about them as well. And I think if we scroll down a little bit as well, we've actually got obviously the formation details and things, but we've also got the lineup here where you have the morale and the fitness and the condition. Again, very simple but very easy to understand. You can put your subs in. You have all your players here. All the positions, all the morale and things are linked to these players, your formation, everything you need's there. And yeah, it's really good. I think it's going to be difficult to get used to, even with it being very well laid out and things. It's the sort of thing where you're looking for things, and like with Football Manager, where to look for certain things. I'm sure we'll get to the point where we're playing this game enough that you'll just instinctively know, right, I need to look here. How's this guy's condition? How's this guy's morale? Is he injured? All that information's there on that lineup page. So it's really good. And then obviously when you click the play now page after setting your team up, you then come into the match. So currently we have the text updates, which I think I'm right in saying there is plans to maybe get in the future some 2D or 3D generated games somewhere down the line. Is that right?
Yes, 100%. Right now, we're going to release the game with commentaries only because we are doing like, let's say, baby steps because we want to deliver the game as soon as possible. And also in this year, we are aiming for the middle of the year between June, July, alongside with the PvP to deliver a 2D game. Like if you guys play Football Manager, Championship Manager, you are very familiarized with the dots playing the game. So we are going to deliver this in the middle of the year. And then we already have some very good partners that can deliver the 3D for the game. But of course, it's not our main priority. And our priority is to deliver the PvE, PvP, and the user experience the best as possible. After this, we go for the details. The details are going to be, let's say, mobile game, 3D game. So all of these we are going to deliver over time, but we have the resources and the connection to do so.
Yeah, I think it's good. You've obviously got the timelines in place, or at least expected timelines of when you're going to do these things. So they were not too far in the distant future that we can't see them within the year sort of thing. That's great news. Match overview, so you can see, I guess, if you weren't to be online when your game was played and you came online, this is the page you'd be greeted with after the game. Is that right?
Exactly. And whenever we're going to play the game, the PvE or PvP, down the line, okay, so not the first interaction, you can, of course, during the game, you can change the formation, change the football players. So if you are online, if you are playing the game, you can do a lot of changes inside the game that are going to impact in the outcome of the match.
Yeah. What about setting up standard subs? So if you're not going to be, say if I've got a game at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I don't get into from work till 6, but I know my starting lineup's got a weak condition guy in it and I want to sub him. Can we do pre-match, so automatically subs and things? Will that be available in the PvE?
Yeah, this is like something that we are thinking about it because this may occur 100%. Not every day gonna be available at the same time, and we don't want to create users like really they need to be there like a prisoner of the game. So we are going to release this as well, that you can pretty much set up your team, set up the way that you can interact. Okay, the 65 minutes of the game, you can do a substitution to put this striker, like we can do like strategies that we know how we play the game, and then we can do this. One way for us to do this is like very straightforward, an option that you can do. Another way that we are also thinking how we can integrate this in the game is that you want to create as well coaches NFT. Okay, maybe you're gonna do a sales of a Mourinho, of a Guardiola NFT in the near future, and then also you can have your own NFT to be your own coach. So if you have this, you can pretty much have your own mentality, attack, offensive, defensive way, and then you're gonna interact within the game. So all of this is things that we are discussing right now internally to how to set up this for the PvP, because we know that not every day going to be available to play the game. So we are thinking about the ways that you can implement. One way, very simple option. Another way is for you to have a coach, let's say, and the coach can play whenever you are not available to play the game.
Yeah, it's another good option. That's something I hadn't thought of. It's actually one of my questions from the community later on about coaches and things, so we'll get to that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Obviously, then we have the player reward. So how much your players have improved. You're up to shooting for your CDM. This is their current and potential ability, I guess. So these are all really interesting little bits. I guess if you've got a whole new squad and they're all starting out, we're going to expect to see a lot of players going up in the first few weeks, aren't we? With them all being on their base current ability, go into their higher. And I guess as it goes on and on and on, there'll be less improvements to players as they get stronger and stronger and closer to their potential ability. So yeah, good little addition, nice little bit where you can see, what my players have improved throughout that game. Make sure it was worthwhile to play as many friendlies as you are.
Exactly.
And then the prize reveal. So yeah, I think we chatted about this a little bit before we started the video. I think that we can't expect to get this level of MSU for each game, otherwise we'll all be rich. Yeah. So this is
maybe the PvP in the first division, maybe, but not for the PvE 100%.
Yeah, I think this looking at some of the players that are coming out now, I think we're up to 86 rated potential ability on OpenSea. So I'm falling behind already. I need to come up with some ways to get some better players in, or I'm going to have to go and spend a lot of money to make sure I'm in those top.
We still have like 2 weeks to assemble a squad, but I mean, we have a lot of people in the community that are going heavily to make the best squad because they want to be in the first division, because they know that this preseason that you're going to have until PvP is going to be like life changing, because after this, if you enter MetaSoccer after we close the preseason, you're going to always start in the 9th division. So if we go to all the way up to the first division, there's a lot of hard work. So for you guys that are like early adopters, let's say, you can do a very good preseason and be already in the 3rd division, the 2nd division. So like it's very good, and that's why people are like going crazy to the marketplace so they can have the best team possible.
Yeah, best starting they can get. Yeah, what's the chances, I guess, of sorry, so you said everyone that comes in will be in the 9th division after this one starts. What sort of expectations are you thinking for a year's time? I mean, we've got a lot of players now. We have a lot of people in the Discord. What's MetaSoccer's goal for number of managers within 12 months, for example?
Massive. Right now we have 15 guilds in the game, 1-5, and I know that as soon as I release the PvE with the scholarship system that we are aiming to release this in April as well, the part of the renting football players will be available this month. All the guilds that are playing play to earn games, they're gonna be come to MetaSoccer to try to have the scouts to play the game as well. So the amount of people that are expected to play the game is pretty much the entire play to earn industry, if possible, because I mean, at the end of the day, it's sport, it's football, it's soccer, everybody gets it. Okay, so like X Infinity is massive, everybody play, but what is X? No one knows. You need to go there and learn and understand. Okay, but why do I need 3X? Okay, because of this and that. Okay, this card, what is the... I have no idea. So the learning curve from X Infinity and from MetaSoccer is like way different, because at the end of the day, it's football. You understand, okay, I have the football players, I have a formation, I'm gonna play a game. 9-minute games that, of course, for us in real life is like 5 to 10 minutes, but you will understand what you are doing. So it's very easy for a guild to explain this for a scholar, how to interact with the game, and for people to be like very, very hyped about it. Because I mean, we close for Ronaldinho Gaúcho. If you want to use him as a PR model, let's say, it's very easy. And we are going to use him because in our contract, you need to do posting on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, all of this. So all the football players that you are doing, all the football clubs that you are doing is with a lot of PR and marketing. So at the end of the day, we are going to be the most dominant play to earn game because we are football. So for me, in 1 year, I want to have more than 10 football clubs with us that I need to select that the one that I want to put MetaSoccer, because I'm expecting to receive a lot of applications to have your own club in the metaverse. But I mean, we are creating our own metaverse, so it doesn't make much sense for us, let's say, to onboard all the Premier League, all the La Liga. It will be cool, yes, it will be cool, but at the end of the day, we are creating a metaverse. So for marketing purpose, okay, 5, 10, whatever, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Manchester United, Manchester City, just okay, makes sense. But not to go crazy, too much crazy on this. The same goes to football players. We can onboard a lot of football players, but you are selecting just a few strategic ones for specific country, specific football clubs, because we want to pretty much use them as a marketing and as a PR strategy for MetaSoccer. So in 1 year, we want to be like very, very dominant about the entire industry. Let's hope. Let's see what's happened. I'm gonna come here in 1 year time. You send me a direct message on Discord. I can go here and say my updates about MetaSoccer.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. I think that's all the information on the medium, but like I say, that's all looking really good, and it's looking really clean, really fresh. And I think people are going to be really excited to start getting playing on the PvE over the next week or two. I think we have a couple of questions from the community now. So I have put out a tweet earlier in the week, basically just saying, obviously, you want to give everyone a voice in here, and they can ask questions, which they can do in the Discord, but I guess they'll get to see the video and we'll get a full in-depth, in-person explanation from you maybe. So a couple of the community questions, one from Poker Hub on Twitter came through, and it said, how much effect will special abilities have in game? So if I was to have, say, a 62 potential ability striker and a 62 potential ability striker, one of them's got killer, one of them hasn't, how much of a benefit is that special ability going to be in game?
Yeah, special ability will be like a thing in the game. It's just like you have Messi and Messi without the dribbling, let's say, or speed. I mean, it's still Messi, it's still good, but if he does not have the dribbling and the speed, it's not that good. So all of these special ability going to affect in the percentage of the chance that you have to win the game. Okay, I was talking with the team last week about it. We need to release the information for the community, because people are purchasing the football players. Even myself, I'm making my own squad based a lot on the special abilities, and we still do not have a full explanation for MetaSoccer team about how this is going to affect the in-game philosophy, let's say. So that's why I aim to release this information latest next week, because we need to have this before PvE. But I can tell you that it's going to have like a big role to have a special ability. So if you have the money, capability, for example, to purchase a player with or without special ability, go for a special ability, because at the end of the day, if they are special, it's because they're going to count for something.
What special abilities have you got on your squad so far?
I have a captain, a Kaiser, and killer. Only these three. I don't have that much lucky with my own scouts and my own football players. Let's see if today I'm going to receive more football players. Let's see if I can get some good special abilities.
Yeah, I had a little I did a video the other day, player review, and I was really hoping to get a special ability on one of them, because my first bunch of scouts I sent out, my midfielder, who was 63 rated, no special abilities, nothing like that, and he came back with a magician. So I was like, you know, what's the chances? That's quite good. I think it's really, really low probability. I was happy with that. I have got now, I've picked up a captain, coach on the pitch, killer, penalty taker, So I'm starting to put them all together now. So I'm gonna have
you
hopefully.
you have better ones than myself. I need to go to the marketplace to
I need
purchase
I
some
need a
more.
Kaiser. I've got to go and get myself a Kaiser, but they're too expensive.
Yeah.
Next question was from ebrown.eth. With the current system, is there a worry that the market will get saturated with players? So,
Not at all.
yeah, I think my personal opinion on this one is we are looking at a large number of managers coming back, or players or users, whatever you want to say, who have sent all their scouts out. We have all got a lot of players and nowhere to use them at the minute. PVE is going to come in. And even with the full number of players we have on the market currently, if everyone was to buy enough for one team, we're still going to have only a certain, I think it's around 1,000 players that can actually enter a full squad. As soon as PvE kicks in, I think there's going to be a massive uptake in OpenSea. We'll see the floor price rise, even for the lower end players, for people who don't have youth scouts and other things like that. And, we will see an increase in price. But what's to stop what's the control, I guess, to say we have consistent youth coaches managing over a certain amount of time, we don't get the uplift in players we want? What's the control from MetaSoccer to make sure there isn't a waste in the player and oversaturation, I guess?
Yeah. On my side, I agree with you, because the amount of guilds that you want to onboard on MetaSoccer, they're going to bring a lot of users to the environment. So pretty much whatever amount of players that you have in the marketplace, they're going to purchase. So we are very okay with this. And also on top of that, me as a user, I may be one of the few, but I'm going to have more than one squad for me to play the game, because I really love football type of games. So I'm not going to have, let's say, for every team, we're going to have 11, of course, plus the bench, plus the rotation one. So I aiming myself to have 20 something football players for every football club that I'm going to own. Okay, so if I'm going to have like 5 or 6, that's a lot of players that I need to have. So with me, I think that we're going to have more people that think the same way. That, okay, we're going to have a team full of 70 or 80 something potential, with 60, with 50, with 40 something. So I can play pretty much in the first division, in the second, in the fifth, in the 5, in the 9. So we can have a very, very broad range of people coming in to the game. On top of that, all the assets in MetaSoccer, they age over time, the scouts, the football player. So all of them is going to retire someday. And before retire, the potential ability of them, the overall of the football player is going to go down over time, because they're going to be a lot older. So me as a coach, I need to go to the marketplace, or if I have a scout, generate more football players, so I can start to replace him for new users. So all of this is the way that you have for our own ecosystem to pretty much do not flood with a million football players. And on top of this, of course, if we need, we can trick a little bit the price of MSU and MSC to be like a little bit more expensive or harder. Let's say instead of be like 6 days to find players, 10 days, 12 days. So all of these mechanics in the game that we on MetaSoccer, we can change, of course, to communicate all of this with the community. But it's something that if you are a gamer, you are full aware that this happened, like a buff, a nerf, all of this, it's quite normal. Of course, full transparency all the time. So we on our side, we know that these changes will happen maybe in 6 months, 1 year, 1.5 years. But of course that we are like full aware of all all that is happening with our ecosystem, marketplace players, and we will want to take actions if needed.
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly right. I mean, like you say, happens in games all the time. You've got Call of Duty where there's a gun which is killing too many people too easily, too fast reload. Exactly. You nerf it so that there's not someone that can kill the game and take advantage of that to the point where it's game breaking, and you've got the ability to do that with the scouts and the costumes. So definitely a control method, which I think will hopefully put a lot on people's mind at ease. Next question is from Joe Donahue 92. And we discussed this a little bit briefly earlier, but what are the plans for introducing new cards, managers, additional backroom staff, etc.? So obviously there's the plan for stadiums, which will be coming in, which can be owned by multiple people, which they can yield MSU from. You mentioned about the potential for managers, but what other things are in the pipeline, and what sort of timeline is this? Is this distant future, or is this within the next 6 months to a year?
Yes, we are discussing internally about the new generation of NFT. Stadium is one of them. Right now, Vasco da Gama, for example, in our agreement with Vasco da Gama, we have access as well for the stadium, São Januário. So we are creating already the stadium of São Januário in the metaverse. We're going to do the sales of the seats, like a lot of things that we are already discussing internally. And also, the fun part that you can interact the virtual world with the real world. So whenever we are doing a seat sales of São Januário Stadium, whoever has it may have right to receive t-shirt in real life of Vasco da Gama, can receive tickets to the game. So you can do a lot of marketing collaboration between real life and metaverse. So like it's gonna be like very, very fun. Imagine whenever, I don't know, what team do you support right now?
I'm a Tottenham fan for my sins.
Tottenham fan. So imagine for us to have a partnership with Tottenham, and then we can start to have a seat sales from them stadium. Like if you are a huge supporter, I mean, you're gonna purchase everything that they have. So we can do a lot of actions within the club of marketing that can interact one thing with another. Also, we are discussing internally as well to add coach NFT. Okay, we have access to very high level coach in real life that you can bring them to the metaverse to be like a character that you can sell him. And also we are discussing that you as a user, you can have your own profile, like I can create myself over there and I can be like a coach inside the game. And you're going to use this as a way for the user to pretty much burn tokens for you to improve. Because imagine like you are a coach, MetaSoccer, and then you can level up your own skills of attacking, defending, goalkeeper, morale, or whatever. If you spend MSC or MSU, whatever, you can improve your own ability and you're going to impact your own squad in the field. Because if you are, let's say, a forward specialist, let's say, you're going to impact in the forward of your team, going to be like a boost of morale, a boost of condition, a boost of whatever. So all of these are things that you are discussing internally, because at the end of the day, what you want to do is that since you want to onboard a lot of guilds owner, you need to give something for the scholars to spend money and not only to receive MSC and MSU and dump in the market. So if you allow them to create their own avatar, they can spend money in himself in the game so they can improve. And with that improvement, this is going to impact in the game. And at the end of the day, the guilds want to hire the guy that are better because they're gonna put like a boost in the team that you're going to receive.
Yeah.
So you can create a very good economy that people, the scholars, the guild, everybody can create this economy, can spend money in the game and not only dump this in the game. So we are discussing this internally to have this type of things. For me, it's perfect. It's like a very smart move that you are thinking about. So you can expect to have a coach as well, probably before PvP. I'm not going to give you right estimation, but we are discussing this right now. Like every week I have some meetings with the team. So we are discussing this. So you can expect to have some good updates about it.
No, that's good. Not too long. We'll have to wait then. I think the stadiums for me, and like you were saying about there, about the real life utility and the potential to get tickets and things like that, will be a really exciting thing for a lot of people because, you know, it's additional utility for the NFT. Basically, it gives them more value just by the fact that they can enter competitions or, you know, real life ticket giveaways, things like this. They're going to, you know, bring people in purely off the back of them themselves, people that aren't even necessarily playing the game already, I guess. So yeah, really interesting and positive news, I think. So we've got a couple more questions. I won't keep you too much longer, Gus. I know you're a busy man.
No worries.
When is the game app going to be made mobile friendly? At the moment, you've got no chance if you haven't got a desktop, and that's from Jason Bays on Twitter.
Yeah, like we know that everybody, even myself, I was playing Football Manager Touch because it's in the mobile because I don't have time to be in my computer. But right now we cannot, at this very moment, to have a squad, do a sprint, let's say, to create a mobile app. So first of all, create PvE, create PvP, be like very impact, like perfect. And then you can scale this to create a mobile version, a 3D version. So all of this is over time. Right now, I entered the team of MetaSoccer with 8 people, I guess. I was one of the first hiring because we already have a company in Barcelona. So I was the first one to enter outside the company. Right now, we are with 30 to 32 people. I mean, in 3 to 4 months, maybe 65 or whatever. So with more team, more developers, of course, you can like dedicate a team to do a sprint to deliver mobile. But right now, I can only say that it is not our priority, because at the end of the day, the priority is to create a game. And then whenever we create a game, we can scale this.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair enough. But I think a lot of people are probably interested in, although it's not a priority now, it will be happening somewhere down the line, and there will be access for those things. I think it is a big like block for people if you can't get access from your mobile where you can do all the functionality. Sometimes that's going to turn people away. And I think, you know, in terms of user base, user growth, and other things like that, an app, you download it on your phone, you're on it, you haven't got to worry about everything else. That is, in the long run, going to be a really vital part of MetaSoccer growing their user base, I think.
So that's why as well we need to put, if not right away, the mobile part, to put the option that you can put like a auto match or whatever, because if I'm not at home, I can still play. And I can see the results, I can check the match results and etc. So I can still interact if I'm not available. But at the end of the day, if I have mobile, it's way easier. That I agree.
Yeah, I think that auto button is going to be a game changer, really, in that, you know, like you say, you can step away, you know your team set, you're not going to miss out on any potential training of your players in the games, any potential MSC. You can just set that up the night before, go to work, come back, and you haven't missed anything. So yeah, that'll probably help a lot of people who probably are considering. I know Jason personally, and I think one of his issues was the lack of the mobile thing. I think that the auto button and the promise of the app at some point will probably, you know, persuade him to come and join. He's sitting on the fence a little bit at the minute, so he hasn't invested yet. We've got one last question, Gus. It's a quick one. Which markets are the MetaSoccer team targeting for growth? This is from the Perennial Snowman on Twitter. Can you give us any teasers for upcoming marketing?
Yeah. Right now, we just announced yesterday with Ronaldinho, we announced a partnership with Base, the biggest guild here in Brazil. They purchased $500,000 in assets. So we are pretty much already doing massive marketing strategy deals with guilds. And for example, Base Guild, they have pretty much all the influencers in Brazil. I can tell you that all the biggest guys in the play to earn are with them. The biggest one is Soneca. He was in the event for Ronaldinho Gaúcho, for example. So right now you're going to starting next week, you're going to start a lot of YouTube videos, reviews on stream, etc. So we can again tell people that MetaSoccer, that they already know about MetaSoccer. I think it's very hard right now, people that are in play to earn, to never heard about MetaSoccer, because we are pretty much everywhere. But you need to go there again to say, hey guys, PVE is starting like in 1 week or 2 weeks. So we're going to start all over again to release PR, to release marketing and marketing strategy campaigns. Right now we have a glam going on for a giveaway of 50 youth scouts. So all of these is ways that we are giving to the early adopters a way that they can receive tokens, to receive NFTs. So all of this is happening right now because we have a massive event going on, the PVE, like in 2 weeks. So we are starting already. And again, like the key countries or key regions for us, I mean, Latin America, live and breathe football. Brazil is a key one, of course. So we are there. The Spanish community, because you are a company from Spain. So as well, we have a massive adoption in Barcelona and countries that speak Spanish. And of course, UK as well is very, very important for us to have a very good penetration over there.
Yeah, definitely. So thanks very much, Gus. That's been great. One last question is from me. It's a personal one. Merchandise, is it on the agenda for giveaways, for buying with MSU? And if so, can I have some?
100%. We're gonna have a lot of ways for the user to purchase with MSU, with MSC, things inside the game. Like, I mean, the t-shirt of MetaSoccer, even myself, I want to buy MetaSoccer t-shirt. So all of these, we can do something in real life to sell the t-shirt, and also in the game as well. So merchandise is a thing, and it's going to happen.
Perfect. That's great news. Exactly what I wanted to hear. Well, thanks for joining us, Gus. It's been really great. We've had some really interesting information out here, which probably hasn't been shared in as much detail as this up until now. So thank you very much for that.
You are welcome, mate, and I'll see you soon. Thank you very much.